Hello friends, welcome to Icra Technology. Today we are going to learn classes and objects. So classes and objects are one of the very important topic of any programming language, or you can say OOP concept. So what are classes? Classes are the containers. These are the special containers, or you can say templates. Template is a better. Suppose you want to manufacture a toy. So you have a mold in which you can create this toy, so that mold is called class, and you can make the toy using different materials. Like you can make a plastic toy, a rubber toy, or you can make a wax toy, any toy of any material. That different materials are different objects, but at the end the structure will remain same. So the structure it gets from the mold is what classes does. So let's see why we need a class. You can consider a template or blueprint. As I said, suppose you want to build a house. So first you get a blueprint ready, then according to that blueprint the house is built. You can make n number of house using the same blueprint. So that's how classes and objects work. Here the blueprint is class, and the different number, or you can say any house made using this blueprint, will be its object. So let's see how to create a class. Class can be created using class keyword and any class name you want to give. Then mostly classes have attributes and methods. So attributes are nothing but the variables we create inside the class, and methods are the functions we create inside the class. So now let's understand what is object. As I said, objects are what made of using the class, or you can say blueprint. So let us understand object better with another example. Let's say you have a blueprint of a car, that is class car, and you want to make an actual car. Now you can make different types of cars, a car of different color, a car of different speed and different properties. You can make n number of different cars. One car can be black, one can be blue, one can be red, one can be yellow, but these are made using the same base or same blueprint. So different cars made are the objects, and the same blueprint used is the class. Now let's see how a class and object works. Let's create a basic class using class keyword. First you have to use class keyword, then we have to specify class name. I'll name it as my class. Then you have to write colon, which defines the start of the class block. Then suppose you want to create a variable, you can say any variable. Greet is equals to here I'll write greeting is equals to hello world. And now I want a method in this class, def. As we create any method, let's name it as greet. Okay. Now one thing to note here is it is compulsory that you have to provide any function inside a class that is an instance function a self parameter. Why? Because this self parameter represents the instance object which is targeted at particular time. It is internal thing. You do not have to go into the complexity. We will learn this when we will learn about the init method or constructor, but it is compulsory that you have to give it a self parameter. Any function or method you are creating inside a class must have self parameter. Now let's print greeting self dot greeting. Now why we wrote self dot greeting? Any because we want to use the greeting method inside of this class, so we will use self before using this greeting, before calling this greeting variable. Okay, let's create object. Here the class blocks end. Now let's create object. How to create an object? Just give object whatever name you like. Obj is equals to, now you have to use, make sure to keep the first letter of class capital. I'll use my class, and this way I have created object. Now I will call the function of the class obj dot greet. Okay, now let's run and see what happens. Python test.py. See, it has printed the hello world, right? So that's how classes and objects work. Now let's see a bit complex example. Okay, so here we have created a class car. Okay, as you can see, and it has a method called def drive. As I said, first parameter will always be self, so this is the self parameter. Then it has some other parameters true, that is color and speed. Now we also have some functions, some line of code inside this method. Here we have created the object of first car. We have provided it property. The color variable is provided with the property red. Speed is provided with the property 60. Now same, using same template, we have created second car and given it different color and different speed. Now we will now when we will call the first method and second method using their respective objects, we can see that the car will print different. That means we use the same template for different objects. So that's how class and object works. Now here we have another example of, you can say, a class student. Here we have a function called def display, which prints three things: name, roll number and course. Okay, here we are creating a student using student class. So I'm creating an object of student class and assigning the values to this object. Now we will use display function to print the values of this object. Okay, so let's quickly revise what we learned today. Class and object are very important topic of object oriented programming. Class, you can consider the class as a template mold, or you can consider the objects as the things made using classes. This is the way of defining a class, or you can say syntax of a class. And here we have seen the example of a car, how we are using this car class to create two different cars. That means we are using this template to create two different objects with the different properties. So yeah, that's all about today's video. Thank you.